Hi, welcome to another episode of Orangeline. I'm Mary Loveland.
And I'm Kelsey Epperson. Last weekend was Baker's Family Weekend. Reina Murphy has more on the festivities that happened here at Baker.
This past weekend, Baker University held its annual Family Weekend. Senior Aaron Falter and sophomore Nick Williams emceed the very first Baker Talent Show on Friday night in Rice Auditorium. There were musical acts, poetry readings,
parts start to quit and parts don't fit and new lamps need to be lit and we're past the point of where.
and in spirit of Family Day, one family member performed.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Saturday was the first home football game for the Wildcats. Students and their parents tailgated before the showdown against Mid-America Nazarene University. There was more family fun throughout the weekend. There was a chapel service, a reception with Dr. Pat Long, and a pep rally before the football game. Baker's 2009 Family Day was a success. I'm Reina Murphy, KNBU-TV.
Thanks, Reina. There's been a lot of technological issues happening here on campus. I took a closer look at the problem.
If you're a Baker student, you've heard of My Baker Portal, Wildcat Email, Outlook Live Email, Moodle, and Blackboard. And if you're lucky, you haven't had any problems accessing all of these accounts. As the new school year began just a few weeks ago, Baker students, faculty, and the Information Technology Department have faced many frustrations. Web Services Administrator Toby Ebel talks about the recent difficulties.
I don't even know if I could list them all for you. We've had some difficulties because we've been trying to do a lot of things at the start of the semester here. So, I mean, we could talk about our issues with Moodle and Blackboard. We could talk about our issues with email, portal usernames, wireless access. There's been a number of things going on. So, I mean, I could go into detail on a lot of those, but just a lot of issues means a lot of trouble, a lot of complaints, long lines, that kind of stuff. So.
One of the reoccurring issues students have been facing is the switch from the old Wildcat email to the new Microsoft Outlook Live email account. While Ebel says the Wildcat email is outdated, he also explains the many perks of the new Microsoft Outlook service, one of which is free access for Baker University.
This new version that we've got, Live at EDU from Microsoft, there should be some things that are a lot better about it once the students get using it. Just to name a few, you've got 10 gig of mail space, whereas in the Wildcat mail you only had 10 megabytes. It's a significant difference. And if your mailbox got full, nothing would ever just come through. I mean, you just wouldn't get anything. That shouldn't happen with the new system. You've also got 25 gig of personal file space that we've never really been able to offer before. That's a lot of file space just for you to store your files. You can even make those available to certain people if you want. You can share those. There's all the normal stuff that comes with the Hotmail type service, like contacts, calendaring, there's photo sharing and stuff like that. So almost a portfolio-like environment that I think students will really like and be able to use once they get the hang of it and they're adjusted to it. And we've been on it for a little while. We got the kinks worked out.
All students who have switched over now have a new email address containing their first name, middle initial, and last name. While students can access other students' email addresses in the new Microsoft Outlook email, faculty, on the other hand, cannot. Darcy Russell, professor of biology, explains how she's dealt with this issue.
I just asked the students to send me their new email. I don't know their middle names. So that whole middle initial thing, I'm like, that's kind of a problem. But I know that it makes every email more specific. And frankly, with the old email, if they were a 1 or a 2 or a 3, I didn't know that unless they sent it to me either. So it's not really that different in terms of a problem.
Ebel and his staff are establishing a directory for faculty that will provide a global address list of Baker students' email addresses. Another major issue hitting Baker's campus is the switch from Blackboard to Moodle. Ebel says Blackboard will be effective the entire academic year, but will not continue on after the spring semester and will be replaced with Moodle. However, some professors have already made the switch to Moodle, causing both technical and communication problems amongst students. Junior Lauren Hanson is one of these students who's experiencing problems.
Because all my classes switched to Moodle, except for one, so I can't really get any of my stuff. Just because I feel like I'm missing stuff and kind of feel like I might get behind in my classes because I can't get online to get all the printed stuff off that I need.
Dr. Russell received Moodle training over the summer to become acquainted with the new program she's been using in her classes this semester, but things haven't gone so smoothly yet.
The problems arose, though, at the beginning of the semester with this ability for students to access the site that I had set up for them. And particularly when the email switched, lots of students temporarily or still can't get to the Moodle site, and some students can and some students can't, and I'm not sure why that's true. So what I've got is the students who can't are getting notes from the students that can, or I'm emailing them directly the materials. So it's not all the kinks and bugs aren't worked out yet.
So why, with the ongoing problems, did Baker decide to switch programs?
So we went with Moodle because it's supported by CMC, which is the company that we hired to run and manage our new student information system. And the two connect together, so things like rosters and grades and attendance eventually, things like that, can just flow back and forth between the two systems. We never could get that connection with Blackboard. And the price was right with Moodle, so we really thought that that was the best way to go. It's just taking a little while to implement and get it 100% right.
With Blackboard and Moodle access and a brand new email account, students have been flushed with information about usernames, passwords, changes in both of these, and learning how to access the new sites. Hanson questions the decision to switch up these accounts and is concerned for students like herself.
Half of my teachers don't even know how to use Moodle either, so their stuff isn't on Blackboard or Moodle yet. So I feel like it's kind of like making our classes behind in schedule because we can't get any of the stuff we need. Because I've just heard people complaining about it. I haven't heard anything good about any of it. So, and nobody really knows why they switched it to begin with because Blackboard was working fine. So.
Ebel says the new programs have been in the works for about 6 to 8 months and had to be approved by a board. As the frustrations between students, faculty, and Ebel's department continue, he has high hopes for them to diminish after a semester.
And we don't even know what all the problems are necessarily until students and faculty get here and start using things. So we're using this term to kind of see what the problems are, mitigate them as best we can, and then in the spring, hopefully clean up all of those things to where that's a pretty decent semester. Everybody can connect, everybody can get the things they need done, everybody can reach the materials that they need. And so we're hopeful by the end of this year, most of those problems will go away, and then the summer, and then the following year, the following fall, should be a lot better. So in terms of all those applications that we employed in the fall. So it can take a year, realistically, to get the kinks worked out of everything.
This has been Kelsey Epperson, KNBU-TV.
Thanks for that, Kelsey. Stay tuned. More Orangeline is up next.